All right, 1 2 1 2 mic testing. All right, so this is a coaching session for I don't know how to pronounce that name. Uh, Ahmedeka. I don't know that the Rhine on the on the red team. All right, so they told me this was Diamond Four, Diamond was it? It was Diamond Four, Diamond Five coaching. So you're above the average player. Congrats, the average player is stuck in plat. like, never mind. So this is Lee Jong Tower. Okay, so first things we're gonna look at your skin. What the heck is this? This is literally the McDonald's skin. 7 out of 10. Maybe a 6 out of 10. I don't know. You could do better. Second, you're playing Reinhardt. Now, Reinhardt in this meta is pretty garbage. He gets destroyed by pretty much anyone. But like I tell pretty much everyone also, uh, you can play any hero you want and get to top 500. It's just gonna be a lot harder, and you need to be very aware of your hero. Like for example, at H Cloudy, he plays Reinhardt, but even he is forced to switch sometimes, and that says something because the guy plays a lot of Rein. So, all right, there's two things you need to look for at the start of your match. First of all, is your ping. I don't know what ping you have, but depending on your ping, it your playstyle changes. What do I mean by this? If you have 60 ping, you can react with your abilities. What do I mean by this? Your shield, for example, if you get shattered, you can react to the animation of the Reinhardt shattering and put your shield up. With 100 ping, with 120 ping, with 120 ping, I think you can't do that. Why? Because you pretty much get shattered anyway. Because the game doesn't recognize the input of you putting your shield up fast enough, so you get absolutely destroyed. So you need to predict shatters instead. Abilities will come out later. It's a very small difference, but that small difference will hurt. Like if you ever played Doomfist on 200 ping, that's how it feels like to play on really high ping, and it gives you like the no, that's it gives you like the feeling of seeing your abilities not being used at the moment you press the button. All right. So that's a first. I don't know what ping you're playing on, but just putting that out there. Second of all, second thing you should look at is your team. Who do you have with you? You have a Lucio and you have a Kiriko, Torb, and Genji. So you with this team comp, always analyze your team comp before a match. It's very important because that will teach you how to play. All right, you have a certain way of playing Reinhardt. Reinhardt is he takes space aggressively and then keeps it, right? Um, but with certain team comps, if you still want to play Reinhardt, you can't play him like that, right? Like let's say for example you had a Sen and you had a uh, Baptiste, for example, right? Well, not so much. Yeah, but Sen Baptiste, right? And your DPS were more pokey. So Sojourn, Ash. Okay, so you have a Anna Mercy. Sorry, Anna Mercy. And your DPS are basically like Ash Sojourn, and the Mercy is basically pocketing the Ash and the Sojourn, so you're left with the Ana, right? Ana heals are not bad. However, you're not gonna get any help. Your usual, I mean, what do I mean by this? It's like when you start being really aggressive, right? You try to make space for your team. It's still a bit pokey. So if the enemy team can defend good against that, you're gonna have a very hard time, right? Diving certain heroes or being aggressive on certain heroes. But right now you have Lucio Kiriko, so you can be aggressive, right? Because you have the speed boost, so you can go and then back up however you want because well the speed helps you, right? So you have the Genji, you have the Torb, you have the Lucio. So the Torb is not really a dive hero, but he has the turret, but the Genji dives, so you can pretty much be good with that. I'm sorry if I went on a rant there, but those are two things that are very important when you start your game. All right. So, crap. I don't know why it skips every 20 seconds instead of 10.
3, 2, 1. Round 1. Action.
One very minor thing I'm going to tell you right now. On this specific map, it's useful as a Reinhardt to come up here and fire strike this door. Because most of the time, now they have a Genji, right? But you don't know that. Most of the time, the characters will come this way, right? And they will start a fight here because usually that's what happens. And so when you fire strike 2 times in here, you get a pretty good amount of ult charge. So you already started the match with like 20%, 25% ult charge, which is pretty huge because your ultimate is kind of strong, right? By coming here... Now, okay, right, let's see what you do next. Okay. So you just gave all that space for free. So what do I mean by this? So if you don't know the concept of space, I don't know if you know the concept of space, but I'm pretty sure you can see my cursor in the recording. If not, I'm sorry. I'll try to point at certain things. All right, so what do I mean by space? Space is the place where your teammates can play freely without that much of a chance of dying, right? So for example, which space do you control right now? This one, right here. This one is a bit different, right? Because this is, so if you ever watch documentaries on like World War I, World War II, there's like no man's land, right? So basically this whole point is no man's land. Why? Well, because the Junker Queen can push whenever she wants. You can push whenever you want, right? And the Pharah applies pressure to all the entire place, right? So this is no man's land, right? But here, for example, this is space you control. And what I mean is, if someone pushes here, they need resources or they'll die. However, here, they don't need as many resources to live in no man's land, right? This is like the neutral zone. If you go in here, this is not a neutral zone. This is enemy backline. You can die, right? As Reinhardt, this is a very, like, you want to control choke points. You want to control spaces where you can block the damage coming from one place. So, for example, if you stayed here, this forces the team to either try and push with your barrier up and your fire strikes, or rotate over here, in which you rotate over here, and you can block in one direction. Here, you cannot block in one direction, right? Because you have 2 other angles to worry about, right? And you say, oh, but here, I have this angle to worry about in the right. Well, yes, but it's less oppressive. What do I mean by that? If someone starts pushing over here, you control this entire space if you're holding here. What does that mean? Your teammates can do whatever the heck they want when they're here, and they can probably kill the guy, right? But if you're here, and someone is flanking over here, right? There's a lot more pressure because you can't peel that easily. Why? Because the Junker Queen is on your face, because they can push you from this way, or the Pharah can start shooting you, right? So you can't really peel that much, right? Or if you do peel, you're kind of wasting resources. So you gave all this space for free. And against the Junker Queen, the only way for Junker Queen to deal damage to you is with her shotgun and with her axe/melee abilities, right? So she's not much of a threat to you here. Here, it's a bit different because she can do whatever she wants and she can activate a speed boost in which she can push one of your teammates and you die. And they die, right? Or if you peel, for example, you peel here, you suddenly, oh, let's say you live. Oh, wait, I'm back here. I just gave them a point for free, right? So one thing, why am I making such a big point out of this? Because it's important for me to know how aware you are as Reinhardt of space, of like map management, of what you want to do as Reinhardt, right? Because you can be a very mechanically gifted Reinhardt, right? But if you don't know any like theory, or by theory I mean like game sense, right? You're gonna get rolled. So, okay. So you gave them the entire space for free. So let's see what you do next, right? Nice. That was a big pin. That pin was huge. That was big. But right now, yeah, just be aggressive and kill everything. So here it worked out, right? Because you got a really big pain on the Junker Queen. Basically, the Junker Queen fed, right? And you're like, you may be like, oh, but it works so well. Well, yes, of course, this is Diamond, right? Situations like this can happen all the time in Diamond. But so your Genji was on the Pharah, right? So where are the healers for the Pharah? Nowhere to be seen. The other healer hasn't even picked, right? So this was pretty much a win fight for you. But in higher elos, this mistake could have cost you the point. Because the Pharah in higher elos is mostly never alone, right? So the Genji would have had to run because, oh, I'm doing damage to the Pharah. I'm keeping the pressure from the Pharah away from a little bit, right? So you can live. But eventually the Genji is going to have to run away, right? Maybe the pressure is too high. Maybe the team peels. Oh, I don't know, right? But they may run. And you giving that in this entire space for free could have cost you the point. Now, why did the Junker Queen feed? Because the Junker Queen doesn't need to get this close, right? Look at what the Junker Queen does, right? She has complete lack of awareness, right? Like, oh, what am I doing? Like, if she stayed here and was like, I'm still shooting you, I'm still keeping this ground. You can't push it for free, right? If you were to pin the Junker Queen all the way back here, that's a risky move, right? Because, okay, you just converted No Man's Land into Chaos Land. So everything happens and you don't know if you win the fight or not, right? And you're like, oh, the Junker Queen may be dead, sure. Oh, but what if the DPS peel and all of a sudden case you in and you die, right? Oh crap, I'm dead. Maybe the Junker Queen doesn't die, right? Then in higher elos, that's something that happens, right? So you need to be aware. So the Junker Queen basically feeds by going like, I'm gonna shoot the Torb over there, right? She has no awareness, right? So you basically punish that lack of awareness by being like, madam, this is not playland, right? Look at what she's doing. Who can she punish there? Who can she shoot? If you think about it, right? The Torb and the Kiriko are all the way over here, right? You're over here. You're the biggest threat she has right now, and she's completely ignoring you, right? So you basically pin that, you win the fight. Easy. Which is a good recognition, right? Nice fire strike. But it seems you lack, I think you lack the awareness of your space, right? So the Junker Queen here switches to Reinhardt. Alright, the Reinhardt v Reinhardt mashup. It's a very brain oriented one. Nice fire strike, right? These are the kind of fire strikes you should look for. Ones where the enemy team is grouped up. That's why I was here. Like, if you fire 2 fire strikes down here, you get a lot of ult charge. You probably would be 80% right now, right? So this fire strike here is golden. Right here, this is the optimal position to be in, right? Here. Here. You need to back up, you back up here. This is the safe one, right? This is being a bit aggressive. You're being a bit aggressive here. Why? Because you're closer to them and they can push you very easily with a Lucio, right? You have to be aware. You have your own Lucio, but they also do, right? So this is a safe space, right? Because if they need to push you, they take more distance. And if they take more distance, it means they need more resources, right? Here, they need less resources to push you. Right? So you're being a bit aggressive on your positioning, but it's not terrible. It's not bad. Here, you're being very, very aggressive. I'm surprised you don't die here. Yeah. Okay, so, wow. Whoa. You did the same thing as a Junker Queen, okay? You did the exact same thing as a Junker Queen, so let's go back. You were like, oh, McCree's won. Hey, watch it, bucko. Right? So... let's see. Right? Oh, McCree's won! Yeah, but look at where you are, pal. What's this? This is Chaos Land. This is their territory. This is their space. Why? Because this is your space. Where's your team? The Kiriko's over here. The Torbjorn's over here. So they can't really support you over here, right? So you also need to know where your team is. So we're going to go over this in slow motion. So I wanted you to see, right? Oh, the Kree's won! But he's being healed. And now you realize, oh snap. Where am I? The Reinhardt is right next to you. He can easily pin you. The McCree was being healed. So he's not going to die unless you have a Fire Strike combo. And even then, the Lucio can boop you off, which misses your Fire Strike completely, right? So right now, you're feeding. Hard. Why? Because this is no man's land, right? As I told you before, the separating point between your space and their space, right? But now you're completely in their space, and you left this alone, right? So, like I said, I would be very surprised you don't die here. And look at how much damage you take in a fraction of a second. That's in slow motion, right? And you forced your Kiriko to use Susu on you so you don't die. You forced the cooldown on you by feeding. That's the toughest thing. Not the toughest thing. That's the big problem, what happens when you feed, right? Because then they have to save you from feeding. And to do that, they have to use resources. And Kiriko, Susu is one of the strongest resources you have, especially against an Ana that has anti-nade, right? Because if Ana hits a big nade, Susu can cleanse all of you. But now she can't do that because she saved you from feeding, right? And so you pin, try to get away. The Ana is like, oh, he's pinning backwards. I'm a native, right? You live with 1 HP. But it's inconsequential at this point. Why? What happens when the main defense is at 1 HP? The big aggressor can say, oh, well, he's not holding the space anymore. He can't. I push forward. Right? You gave them the push for free. They only used anti-nade, right? You use Susu, right? But you're still antied, right? Like, Susu could have been used for, like, when you're antied here in the fight, and Susu, I turn the tides, right? However, Susu could have been real handy right now, right? So, they might take the point here. Just because of that. I don't know why that Reinhardt didn't finish the pin. But it's saved. It could be saved. But let's see what you do. Okay. This spectate thing is so weird now. I apologize. I got used to the old one. And then toggle one player. Yeah. So right now you have to back up, right? You have to. You have to back up. Of course you do, because right now, who's on a more tricky situation, right? You, right? Because you're on the downside. You're on the losing side right now because you have less resources, right? What I mean by less resources, I mean less HP. So your healers have to heal a butt ton of HP while the enemy is applying pressure, right? And you're like, but the enemy Reinhardt is low too. Yeah, but he's on the point, right? And he can stabilize on the point. You're off the point, right? So now you will need to reinvest resources to take the point, right? With abilities, right? When I mean resources, I mean abilities, your health, your shield. Those kinds of things are resources in a team, right? Okay, so you pinned, right? The Reinhardt gave up space here. I don't know. I don't understand why. Also, remember, this is Diamond, so everyone makes mistakes like this all the time, not just you. Right? So there's a Torb there. Right? And the Reinhardt is like, okay, I'm going to give space. Your Reinhardt has an Ana healing him. He could have just hold shield on point and stabilize and keep going. Right? And not give the space at all, and you're screwed. Right? But he gave up space, and you were like, oh, let me decide to pin here. Here's the problem. You're 397 HP. Kiriko doesn't heal as fast as Ana. Okay? It takes time to fly there.
Don't let him take it.
But you recognize, okay, my pin won't get there. Alright? That's a good good mentality. Right? You weren't as aggressive this time. That's cool. Now this is no man's land. Right? Now you're sort of even. Sort of even, right? You're on the losing side here for what happened, right? But everything's sort of evened out, right? The Reinhardt has as much HP as you do, but everyone else is top HP except you and Genji, right? So let's see what happens here. The Reinhardt pins the Lucio, your Genji dies, unlucky. You pinned the you pinned the Kree on your way out. Okay.
Don't let him take it.
You could have easily counter. No, never mind. He already got your Lucio. If you counter pin someone that has someone pinned, they will kill him. Okay. Now here's what you should have done in that moment with all the things that would happen, because that's also a situation that will happen to you often. The Reinhardt commits to that pin, right? Oh my god, the replay thing, I'm so sorry. Okay, the Reinhardt commits to that pin. What did you do? You backed away. Nuh-uh, sir. Nuh-uh. Why? You are the only thing from keeping them from your team. What happens if instead you say, oh, the Reinhardt pinned into my team. He might have gotten my Lucio, but where is he? He's in my territory, sir. Yeah. So what if instead you become a wall? You don't push him because then you give all the space for free, right? This space you control, but if you push him here, you give it away to them, right? And then you have to retake it. No. You start pressuring here. You start pressuring. Maybe the Genji kills your team. Maybe. Or maybe you swing him twice and he's like, oh damn, I need to back up. Right? You start pressuring here. The McCree can't do anything. The Ana can't heal him if you have your shield up. Right? So what happens? Your team might kill the Reinhardt. And they're like, oh crap. We need to back up. Reinhardt's dead. You save the fight. Right? But instead, you back away. And look at this. Diana can heal right through. The Genji notices you gave that space for free because you're not there anymore. You're here. And you're like, doesn't this apply enough pressure? No. Look at this. Free space. Right? You should be swinging right now. What do? You further back away for a pin because you're like, okay, I need, let's see if I can get to point, right? But you just gave the entire fight for free. Right? Hold on, give me a moment. I'm turn on my light because it's dark. It's dork. Okay. This situation will happen to you quite often. Right? The higher elo you go, sometimes they will dive. And sometimes there is a time for peel and there is a time for aggressiveness, right? Sometimes you need to trust your backline. Sometimes you say, that's too much. Right? For example, a situation. They nano the Genji. He dives in with Blade. Right? And with someone else. Sometimes that's too much for you to peel. You're not gonna kill the nanoed Genji with someone else, right? Sometimes that's too much. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can if they're close to you, right? But if they're not close to you, here's what you do. You go head first into the enemy team, into the back line. Try to switch the fight around. Sure, the Genji might have killed, I don't know, 3 or 4 of your teammates. But maybe you kill another 4. And they're like, oh snap, right? That will happen a lot. You can switch fights that way, right? Because you're not going to kill the Genji, so might as well try to kill something in the back line, right? In higher reloads, your teammates will recognize this and they will try to follow you too and try to like counter kill, right? But right now, that's not happening, okay? So because you gave it up, but you pin and get the McCree, so you get my respect there. So I already noticed you have a sort of flawed concept of what Reinhardt does in a tanking scenario, right? Let's see what you do here again. I want to see again. Oh, that was a very aggressive pin by the enemy Reinhardt. Holy cow. That was so aggressive. I still wonder how he looked. Oh well, have you your damage dealers are dead. Makes sense. Like, this pin right here is aggressive. If you had a Mei, he would have died. That pin right there, unlucky pin into the wall. One thing you can do is you can press S, space, and then D or A to change direction, and Reinhardt will jump backwards, right, in the direction you want to pin, and then you can pin around. So you don't have to pin into a wall like that. But unlucky pin. Happens to all of us. Okay. Who are you ignoring here, my friend? Sure, this Reinhardt has 1 HP. Sure, but he killed her Lucio. Right? Here, it's It's unlikely for your team, for the enemy team to push here if he's already feeding like this, right? Because they're like, oh, he's dead. We're gonna back up, right? I would rather you have focused on killing him. Right there. Oh my god, this F8 thing. Okay. So here, the Rhine is back there, right? Actually, never mind. I'm kind of dumb. So yes, you could. Actually, yes, you could have killed them because Diana was pretty far away, right? And then you start pushing into them because they have no Reinhardt, and then you take the point, right? So yeah, no, I would have preferred if you killed the Reinhardt because they're not gonna push, right? The Ana is too far away, and the Lucio has to speed booster all the way back, right? No, yeah, my assumption was right. I apologize. So yes, I would have wanted you to kill the Reinhardt a bit faster. Maybe you could have saved your Lucio, but right now, your Lucio's dead, sure, but you have Shatter. Let's see what you do here. No. Yes. Oh no! You made it to no. Okay. All right. Here's what went wrong, and here's why you got slept. You want to shatter them, which is a good idea. You charge in, you shatter, you kill all three of them. Big brain, right? So that's why you were standing back. I was like, no, push them hard, kill them, and then you force a whole team fight reset, right? But what happened? You got slept and antied. Unlucky. No, not really. Because the Ana has a sleep and a nade. What should you have done? Charge is cancelable. The moment you hear that little Ana sleep, or the moment you want to shatter, first you hold your shield up, then you shatter. Why? Because the Ana will react to your charging first. It's very hard to react on shatter on animation because you have to realize that when you pull the sleep dart, Ana's sleep dart has casting time, right? So it's much easier to sleep you as you're charging, right? So you charge, you cancel, you put your shield up, and block the sleep, boom, shatter, right? But now she slept you. Shatter's gone. You might be gone. Right now, bro, swing on the Genji. Who else can shoot you? This Kree, right? But right here, when you were right here, oh my god, when you were right here, no one can, like, only the Ana. Like, just kill this Genji, one swing and he's dead, literally, and you have enough HP. Kill this Genji. You're one of the best characters to deal with Genji. Why? Because your hammer requires no aim. And Overwatch has this thing with late melee. What does late melee mean? It means, well, not, I don't know if it's called late melee, but you can melee, right? And even if the animation has told you that the melee stopped, it's still going, right? I can show you that in a. I could show you that in the practice range. Give me a moment. All right.
A better world is possible today.
What do I mean by this? Late melee. So if I melee here, right, and turn around, technically, the melee shouldn't work, right? But, let me do it right. I need to be quick. At 88 ping, Jesus Christ. There we go. See that? See that? See that? Ah.
Coming through.
I'll do it again so you can see what. It needs to be really fast. Now, why am I telling you this? Because Reinhardt has a mechanic on his hammer that applies very well to that. So, look at this swing. No, not that one. This one. Oh, no, this one. See that? See that? Even if my hammer is on the left side of the screen, I still hit the target. Okay? This is a sort of Reinhardt hammer extender. Right? So I'm gonna swing. Oh, no, too bad. There. So the first swing doesn't hit him, but that doesn't matter. Right? Why am I shaking it like this? Because I'm shaking the hitbox, right? So even if my hammer is on the left, my melee hitbox is still active. So all I have to do is switch it up a bit, right? And I extend my hammer melee. Why is this really good? Because against Genji players, so I can demonstrate it to you like this. It's really cool. So if I melee this character right here, some Reinhardts will do this, right? And they hit it, and they hit the robot back. It's kind of like hitbox manipulation. I can't pull it. I'm not pulling it off right now, but this works so much with Genji because he's in your face all the time, right? So if you swing like this, right? Oh my god, I swear. Right, there we go, finally. Yeah, so if you swing like that, like Genji, like... So... Right? The Genji can't do much to you, and he will die pretty quickly. Because you pretty much kill Genji really fast, right? Right? So even if he's away from you, even if the first swing misses, right, like this, you can extend it, right? Like that. So that, okay. So even if the first swing misses, you will still hit him, right? Oh my god, I'm messing up so much. I apologize. I'm trying to demonstrate it, but I think I already did. I think I got the point through. This is really useful for Reinhardt against flankers, right? Because even if they're already far away, you will kill them. And this has some pretty hilarious reactions on the flankers. They will be like, huh? But I was already out! Kind of thing. It's pretty funny when you do that. So you can kill Genji pretty easily, right? 3 to 4 swings, he's dead, right? And you also mess up his momentum. So if a Genji dives, your Timor is on your face, you can easily put him off with 1 or 2 hits. This clutching, but it's already been like 40 minutes actually, and we already.
Not sure there was enough bass. I could almost hear.
But when you uncover the mistakes this early in VOD reviews, that means you have a good amount to learn. Like, what do you lack? You lack awareness. You lack map management, right? There. You saw that? You missed the swing. But if you would have done the hitbox manipulation thing I told you, you would have hit her. You got slept. You need to you can't just fight Ana and not think she will sleep you. That's why you have to swing, shield, right? Swing, shield. Or try to bait it. Think I'm gonna swing, shield. Boom. Right? She hits the shield. Right? You got slept here. You got antied. Right? Usually in higher elos, when you get antied, you die. Just letting you that know. And here, this is a pretty aggressive pin. But oh wait, your team is ulting. Everything's fine. Okay, so you might die here because you're kind of behind this wall if you keep pushing him. So let's see what you do. Do you keep pushing him? No, you back away. Okay, so you live. Good. And you should never do this. This is the thing you did also on the first point when you gave up that space for free. This is something you as Reinhardt never do. You gave all this space for free? Oh, there's a McCree in our backline. Let me walk all the way back. No. No. Your job is to now make sure that the enemy team doesn't come rushing to your team. Right? Because you're the only one that's standing in between them and your team. You could have died there. That was kind of an aggressive... That was still kind of a mistake pin because it was really aggressive. Right? And you could have very easily died there from those split seconds of wall. Right? Okay, it's high noon. You turn around to block it. Hold on. Sorry, someone came in. All right. But what happens when you give this much space? Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Okay, sorry. What happens when you give this much space? The Reinhardt is nanoed, for Christ's sake. What is going to happen if a Reinhardt is nanoed? He wants to shatter. If he doesn't have shatter, he'll be really aggressive. Nano is like an adrenaline boost. They go, ah, right? And then they want to kill everything, right? And if they have shatter, they will look for the first opportunity to shatter. When a Reinhardt is nanoed, it's really easy to block his shatter, right? Because on every opportunity they get, because they will start looking for it like, I want to shatter. Please let me shatter while I'm nanoed, right? They think they're on some sort of time, like if I don't shatter when I'm nanoed, I'm useless, right? What happened? It's free. Free shatter. And what are you doing? Hold on. I swear this thing will be there. Okay. You turn around like that, you get shadowed. Yep. What are you doing right now? Fighting the Reinhardt. Okay. You see how this is a full reset now? You got that. So honestly, that was a pure luck pin. You should have died there. Just because things work here, let me make this clear. Just because things work doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. That's why when you send in VOD reviews, you usually send the losing ones, right? Because on the winning ones, you always say, oh, I did everything right, but you did like 1,000,000 mistakes, and it only works because it's low elo and everyone's making mistakes, right? And here, this is like the pinnacle of Ryan charging into the enemy team for no reason. You got that pin out of straight luck, right? This Ana could have slept you, naded you. You could have been booped. You could have been like, even if you stopped right there, the Reinhardt could have stopped you in your tracks and you're freaking dead, right? Like, that pin was horrible, but it worked. Don't ask me why, right? And here, you're not dead because it's low elo, right? You're already antied. Right now, you should have been dead. You kill the Reinhardt? Alright. So, I think we already found a lot of mistakes for you to focus on. Because if I go throughout the whole VOD review, what I'm gonna find is more of these mistakes. And these are pretty fundamental mistakes, right? And I'm just gonna keep calling them out over and over and over, and that's annoying, right? But you already have a lot of mistakes you're making. You're giving up space for free, right? So let me write this down somewhere. Right. So I'm gonna write it on Discord, and then he can send you the thing. But so you're giving up space for free. You lack awareness, right? You seem to misunderstand Reinhardt's role in a team fight as a tank, right? Because you seem to get it sometimes, but you seem to like go all over the place at the same time, right? Hold on, I need to tell him to ignore this. And you're misusing your abilities a lot. Like you're misusing your pin, like way too much. Like you're lacking of awareness is sometimes being like, oh, I can push now, and it's like, no, you can't push now. You need to be aware of what's happening, right? If your team is already used enough abilities, if you're low on health, if they already took back the point, if they like, you know what I mean? It's too much, right? So it's like these are very fundamental mistakes that I think you should already work on, right? So what do I mean by misunderstanding Reinhardt's role sometimes? So Reinhardt is a character that takes space aggressively and keeps it, but then he has to keep moving. What do I mean by this? So that choke point right there, Reinhardt wants to take it, right? How does Reinhardt take it? He has to push it aggressively. He has to say, move over, this is my space, and I keep it. Why is that? Because Reinhardt doesn't have any idle form of damage, right? And when Reinhardt backs up, it's a very detrimental thing for your team, right? If you're pushing. Because Reinhardt acts like a wall between him and his team. Why? Because he's a threat. Tanks are a threat, right? He's not like Doomfist. Doomfist is not a wall. Okay? How does Doomfist apply pressure? I'm behind you now. What does that mean? There is a threat of me killing you that has to force you to either look at me or back up or do something, but you have to do something about me. Otherwise, I'm gonna drop, I'm gonna punch you, I'm gonna go back up. Oh, I missed the slam over there. I'm gonna go back up. Oh, but what if I don't die? Oh, I'm blocking. Oh, I'm gone. Right? That's the pressure Doomfist applies. Chaos.
Haven't lost my touch.
Right? How does Sigma apply pressure?
Why seek answers?
Damage. He does a lot of damage with his spheres. Right? That means I can poke you from here. Right? I can waste your resources. I can force them. If someone is low, they have to use anti to heal them. Right? I can push my shield behind you so that the Ana can't heal you, so that you back up. Right? I can stun you with my rock. And that forces you to take a lot of damage. I can eat your Ana heals with this, right? By standing really close to you, right? Sigma applies pressure, right? He applies pressure by removing your free space, right? By free space, I mean the space you control. Reinhardt doesn't have that luxury. Fire Strike deals 100 damage, and to a tank, that will be nothing. Right? Usually, you will only be facing the tank. If you land a juicy Fire Strike like this, well, of course you're gonna force resources, and of course you can push easier, right? But usually, you're fighting a tank, right? And 100 damage to heal on a tank is nothing, because they have a lot of armor, right? And your Fire Strike is also on cooldown for a long time. So you can't apply pressure that way. Melee. What are you gonna do to him from here? Nothing. What do you do for shield? Nothing, right? However, I say, I want this space and I want it now. Boom. Boom. I take it. I take it by dealing damage to you. I'm in your face. You throw stuff at me, I block it. I keep shooting, I keep pushing, I push. Boom. My choke point now. Come stop me. Right? Someone pushes behind me. I can maybe deal 1 or 2 swings. But hey, if the enemy team wants to push in, nuh-uh. I'm your wall. Get through me first. Right? You stop incoming damage. Why can't Ryan go? Why is it so bad when Ryan backs up so much like you did, right? It's not wrong to back up sometimes, okay? But like you did, Reinhardt has a number of hit points on his shield, right? What happens when that shield is 200 HP? You can't hold this space too much, right? Because when it breaks, you're just a man with a hammer and a big hitbox, right? You get shot very easily, and you can die very easily. That's why he likes choke points. He holds for one angle, right? But he can also apply pressure this way. I'm still here, right? You can't still kill me that easy, right? Like, you push me, I will pin the crap out of you, right? But if you back up like this and you have low resources, what's your retaliation? You have no retaliation, right? It's like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, and then you're back to square one again, right? Reinhardt excels at pushing aggressively and taking that space aggressively. He doesn't win the war of attrition. Right? The war of attrition, he usually loses. Why? Because he doesn't have any poke. And he can't stand in one place for too long. Right? Because his shield goes down. He can't do any damage from here. Right? He needs to be up close. Up close, applying pressure. Right? Tanks apply pressure. And if you're not applying pressure, then you're just a man with a shield. Right? Who wins the war of attrition? Sigma.
Why seek answers?
Why?
When we do not know the question. Actuating the barrier.
You're pushing me? Okay.
Collapsing the barrier.
Oh, I put the shield behind you. What are you gonna do? Right? I have spheres with range. So even if you push me out of this choke, hey, I'm still here. Right? Oh no, you cornered me. Not anymore. Right? Because usually you deal damage to tanks by putting all your cooldowns on him. But what if he eats your cooldowns? Well, there's no point, right? Oh, you're gonna push me to try and commit? Boom, you're stunned. I'm out of here. Right? He wins the war of attrition. He can back up safely. But he can still do damage. And when your teammates' resources are depleted, guess who's coming back in? Me. Right? That's why Reinhardt against a Sigma, for example, has to always be in front of the Sigma. I'm beating the crap out of you, I'm beating the crap out of you, I'm beating the crap out of you, I'm beating the crap out of you. But the moment Rein is like, okay, I need to shield right now, the Sigma's like, if I'm still alive, you better watch out. Because now, you're playing my game. Right? Where I can damage you, but you can't do anything to me. Right? So, what do you need? So understand the fundamentals of Reinhardt. What Reinhardt is supposed to do for a team, right? He's supposed to be the aggressor. He's the spear in a team. He's the man that goes in first, head first, and starts creating chaos, right? He's not the guy that pokes, opportunity goes in. No, that's not my job. Fundamentally, right? This is Reinhardt. There's other ways to play Reinhardt, but I'm going to teach you the fundamental one. This is the fundamental one. I am the spear, right? I keep space. I keep the space I want, right? I don't keep it in the open. Why? Because there's too many angles, right? Here, it's perfect, right? Not too many angles. My team can watch that one and that one up there. I'm good here. I can't watch all 50 of them, right? I am the spear. I am the one that's constantly in their faces, trying to make space and pressure by doing damage and by blocking key abilities in the middle of the fight. That's why I have a problem with a lot of tanks that just hold their shield like this and try to push like that. It's like, okay, you made it to the fight where you want to be, but now your shield is 100 HP. How are you gonna live? Oh, I start swinging, boom, 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 boom. Oh my god, I'm 300 HP. My shield, oh crap, it's gone. I need to back up. I'm dead. Right? So instead you go, oh, I'm back here. Oh, I regen my shield, that's no man's land. Not anymore. I'm over here, boom, block sleep, boom, block this. I start hitting you, fire strike. Fire strike, I'm here. Ooh, there's a lot of damage. I take shield, I regen health. Guess what? You're pinned. Right? That's what Reinhardt excels at. Right? And he can keep spaces pretty well. Oh, you start pushing? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, you're not pushing. No, sir. Oh, you start pushing? No. I'm fighting you here. Right? That's what he's good at. He can't take multiple spaces. Right? So I hope you learned from that. I hope you learned from what I was saying. You need to learn. If you want further instruction, you need to learn map management. You need to learn what space is and how to control it properly. You need awareness of your surroundings. You need to know what's happening around you, what cooldowns have been used, right? Where your team is, where the enemy team is, how's the tempo of the fight. You also misunderstand tempo. What do I mean by tempo is how the fight is going at a given time. If you're winning or you're losing on paper, right? So if you're losing because you have a lot of low health and less resources, that means it's easier for them to push you, right? But if you're winning, it's easier for you to push them, right? So I hope that I helped you with your role as a Reinhardt player. Um, Hold on, I'm trying to do the thing like that. You see? All right. So anyway, I hope you have a good day. And I hope this helped you. If you want further like coaching or whatnot, ask Viga and he can explain all these things to you. But yeah, have a good one.